Hello and welcome back, haters. The boys are back with another episode of You Hate to See It, where we talk about all the things you love and hate to see. As always, I'm KP and I'm joined here with my brothers, the Magic Man Mikey Dimes,
What's up, everybody?
Chief Hater D Wild, aka our Master of Hate.
Master of Hate in the building, and I got a lot to spew this at.
Uh oh.
Sir.
And Archmaester Alex can't join us today, but he is with us in spirit, I guess. And we've got a very special episode today because we're going to talk about episode 6 of House of the Dragon, The Princess and the Queen, and what an episode it was. But before we jump into it, y'all know why we're here, man. If you have not seen up to episode 6 of House of the Dragon, please do us all a favor and get your Rudy Poot spoiled cunt ass out of here.
Not the spoiled cunt.
Yeah. Just go ahead and binge the first 5. You won't regret it. But for the people who are ready, we're here for you.
We are here. We are here. We are about to go balls to the wall.
Bore on the floor.
Mm.
Still don't really get that game, but
It's supposed to. So let's jump right in. We all knew the time jump was coming. It's 10-year time jump. It's been highly publicized since the beginning of the show, before the show was even out. And today we finally got, well, not today, but with this episode, we finally got our first kind of taste of like what the real time jump was like. And speaking for myself, I thought it was amazing. All due respect to Millie and Emily Carey, but it's time to let the adults go to work, man. You could just tell that the adults are just more. They got more maturity in their acting, more seasoned. There's more nuance to it. Like, all due respect to Millie, but I don't know if she's pulling off that first birth scene like that. So, what did you guys think about the time, how it was executed, and what do we think about our new Rainier and Allison specifically?
I think that casting from Millie to Emma was immaculate. Chef's kiss. Like that really went hand in hand. I feel like you can really like in just like the similarities in kind of how they look and just how they act and everything. I think that was really good. I'm not as high on the Emily Carey to Olivia Cook.
really, I think they look just alike.
I didn't think so. I don't know.
Really?
I thought maybe
I thought that
I
was a
thought she
better casting.
I
To be
thought
honest,
she I thought the looks kind of fell off a cliff there with her, but that's
yeah,
just how
they
I
look.
thought
I think they look.
I
Yeah, I
thought
think
the
they look
facial
just alike.
structure and shit was the facial structure was just throwing me off because it was just different, right? And I was like, yeah, people's facial structure don't really change, but minor gripes, like little nitpicks here and there. In terms of like them as actors, like I mean, Allison has undergone a complete transformation, so maybe that's also what's shocking to me as well. Was like not only like, oh, this is an older character, like this is a complete transformation of her as a character, like in the show, like in addition to it being an older actor. So maybe those two things compounded, and it was just kind of a bit shocking to me because you're used to the quiet, timid Allison, and we saw kind of what was to come, but now like getting how Allison really is in our face is it was just shocking to me that she has had a complete 180 in terms of her character.
Yeah.
So, like for me, I think so far what House of the Dragon has done in regards to the time skips, I think has been spaced out perfectly. Like we had like 3 years to begin with, then like a year, then 2 months, then like a day, and then 10 years or however however the time sequence went, based off like just how they told the story for the first 5, then jumping into the biggest one here. I thought like they paced it perfectly. I do think that Emily Carey and her in the new Allison, I think they look. I thought that was perfect. I thought I could see her aging just like that. To that, I thought the new Rainier and Millie, I thought that one was a little more questionable because I thought they looked more different. But um, I I enjoy seeing that these ladies are moving a whole lot different just based on the maturity, like you're saying. I'm not going to put it past Millie, that she couldn't pull off the birth scene like that. I mean, she killed Rainier the first 5 episodes, so I'm not going to say she couldn't do it. But yeah, like just the start of that, I was like, okay, I can see this is going to be different, just because that's like pretty much the same scene we got with her mother, except she was able to live through it, and this was her, I don't know, her third kid, and that was her mom's attempted fourth, I believe. Um, but yeah, I love how the newer actors are moving different. You can see they're more direct with what they're saying. They're more, like you said, mature. They're more, I don't know, like the adults in the room, so we know it's about to turn out.
For sure, for sure. I didn't mean any slights to Millie. She's a fantastic actor, but it's just some shit like as an adult, like as a kid, you can't act something that you haven't experienced. You know what I'm saying? So like as an adult, you're more mature. You have those life experience to kind of draw from, and so it's just kind of makes the work, the acting more like real, more believable.
Yeah.
But
Hey, better wig on Laenor as well, by the way. That nigga got a much better wig and much better he got a fade now and everything too. So grown up
like,
Laenor was
got a
better.
modern haircut.
I was, I was just like, bro, what was his I don't know, his wig just seemed a little stiff when he was a
Hey,
kid. So I
we
like
gonna
that.
get the Laynor because hey, I got some shit to
We
say
Yeah,
definitely
about
I
that
think we all got some shit to
nigga.
say. Yeah, we talking about wigs. Shit, I think all the Valyrian wigs look trash. Like Lena's ass, the kids' ass. Like that shit look like they legit just put that on the head and all right, go out there.
Hey, you
Um,
hate now. Corliss is. I think they spent most of the budget on Corliss's wig because Corliss
Course is
is.
a spy. That looks
That's,
good, but
Yeah.
that's the only good one I seen.
I mean, shit, it's tough, man. It's
hey
tough.
man, they mixed man, so they can't get the same quality of, of
It is
hair
bad,
texture,
though.
right? Yeah.
But like, kind of what you were saying about Allison, how her whole personality changed. Like, they kind of took that from episode 5, that congratulations stepdaughter line, that very sarcastic kind of line. They just kind of like, all right, this is gonna be Allison going forward, like turned up to 10, and now she's just almost like Cersei light, almost
She ain't Cersei light, but
It's,
light,
it's
like the free trial version of
like
Cersei.
oh, like
I
a free
do say
trial.
light. Okay. Okay, yeah. I just can't believe, like, I guess this, I don't know, because I wouldn't know this experience, but like, how are you gonna let this grudge from when you're 17 really carry all the way over to adulthood like this?
Cause she's a bird.
That's
Yeah,
that's really wild. She's really mad that her friend didn't tell her that she had sex, and she gonna take that all the way into a war.
You feel me?
my thing is like that doesn't make sense about that bullshit, right? Is like, first of all, bitch, fuck you, you fuck my dad. Secondly, I was like, secondly, bitch, you're friends with the nigga who fucked me, like who I fucked with. So like, you're friends with that nigga. Like you're like, oh, because he told you the truth. Like, so why are you friends with that nigga?
Right. This is
You're
like,
you're literally besties with that nigga, bro.
I think I would be. I feel like they should take like the angle that she just really wants Aegon to be on the throne as like why she turns, not because of a stupid lie when they were kids. I don't know. That's me.
I mean, that also plays into it too. Like the thing with her father. It's not just because she lied about getting some dick. She lied about getting some dick, and it caused her father to abandon her in King's Landing. And she's been an outsider in this Targaryen family. Did y'all peep that she changed like the tapestries? So like she really don't even fuck with like the Targaryen shit. She's out here all alone. She has no friends. She's literally had no friends for 13 years except for Kristen Cole's hating ass. So that's just gonna rub off a little
That's
bit.
not like her problem. She need to go talk to some people.
Yeah, facts. It's our fault because you socially awkward. Like, bitch, get some friends. But
Who is this, Aaron?
I did peep that she got a new interior director or interior decorator on the bedroom and everything. She was over there getting fitted for a dress, and it's like now all she wears is fucking green. Like, dude,
Facts.
like did
Facts.
y'all peep
Down.
that? Like every scene is fucking green. It's
Facts.
just a green dress, so it's like, damn. Like I guess she's like firmly staked her flag on kind of the the side of the high towers in her interest, and just the fact that like there were a lot of moments with Allison where I'm like, wow, like she has a seat at the small council meeting, like one completely unprecedented, uncalled for. Like you literally don't have a position of power. Like you're the queen, but that's not an actual position of power. Like
That's like us expecting Laenor to do something. Like, nigga, you
yeah,
have no power here. Like,
like
stop
that's
talking.
not a. I mean, I think Laenor has more power because he's a man and he's heir to Driftmark or whatever. She is literally a baby factory.
I
Like
mean,
that is essentially what her job is. So like the fact that she gets a seat at the small council, in addition to like when Lionel Strong's trying to quit and she just stands in there and like I was like, are you not leaving? Like these were two like really really pivotal moments where I think she just kind of she kind of asserts herself in ways that we have never seen from her.
yeah,
Like her pettiness takes like a whole new level. I don't know if you guys peeped this, but like when she was walking up the steps, she was like, she has the audacity to try to marry one of her plain looking sons to my daughter, and I'm just like, like you look more like more like their sons than she does. Like you calling yourself plain,
hey,
like.
niggas is man, as hell.
They just look like regular niggas because they don't got white hair. Like it's an issue. Like you're
I
like
still don't got white hair.
Targaryens look like. Let's be honest. Targaryens look ugly. All of them look like they look pasty as hell. They
Not
look
Danny.
like because they're inbred.
Hey, Rainier,
Yo, my goodness, because they're inbred, bro.
No, Danny.
I'm just saying they look like they just look frail. All of, especially the men, bro. That nigga Aegon, bro. That nigga Aegon looked like he about 100 pounds soaking wet, bro. Like really, like
Like,
get that nigga
bro.
a meal.
yeah,
Get
he's
that
a
nigga. He's
man.
15. He's 15. Get
No,
that
he
nigga a meal.
13 because he was 3, and then they did
He's
the change.
15. No, 4.5 years. He's like 14, 15 because they said because Jaceres is 9, and he said you're gonna make him fight somebody that's like 4 or 5 years older, so he's like 14, 15.
Okay, all right, that's cool with me. I'm not. Yeah.
I'm just saying, nigga need to eat his Wheaties, bulk up, bro.
Damn, I swear he Chet Holmgren of
The
West.
facts, he lit.
All right,
Yeah, short chat, Holmgren.
so Allison, the first thing we hear from Allison right after Rhaenyra gives birth to baby Joff, literally we don't even hear this from Allison. We hear the queen wants to see your baby right now. And we get the awesome kind of walk and talk shot with Laenor and Rhaenyra, going through the Red Keep up the stairs and checking in with Allison because Allison wants to check on how the baby looks because she's been suspicious about the baby's true parentage. And this is kind of where we first see Allison is like, oh shit, she done turned up now. Now she's like the evil stepmother, and she dishes out some bars to Sir Laenor. Please do keep trying, Sir Laenor. One day you might end up with one that looks like you. Jesus,
Yeah,
Jesus.
that was a crazy bar.
That is a crazy bar, and it's even worse because that nigga's not trying.
Literally not trying. That's okay. Another nigga on my hate list this week, Sir Lanor. Nigga, y'all had an agreement. Y'all had an agreement that y'all were gonna do y'all's duties to the realm, and then you can go fuck anybody else you want. But like y'all, literally, I'm like Rhaenyra and both Lanor need to sit down with the Maesters, plan out her fucking period schedule, find the optimal date
Yo.
to fucking have sex. And I was like, them niggas can make moon tea, them niggas can track a period calendar. Like, come on now,
Bruh.
plan out the optimal date and just do the deed. This
And
nigga
Dwayne,
Lanor has fucked bitches before. He's literally said it's not for lack of trying. Just do it one more. Like, all you have to make
trying.
one
I
son.
mean,
One. All he
he
needed
probably
was
tried,
one son.
but he ain't getting nobody pregnant.
I'm just saying he got to go through, like, I'm saying you got to map out the optimal. This has to be very transactional. This is doing your duty. This is matter of factual. This is not, we're not doing no intimacy, nothing. Like, bro, you could take like I said, I was telling y'all in the group chat, bro, they could have took the Marjorie approach. Nigga could have brought a
It
man into
didn't
this.
work.
It could have, they didn't
They
try
didn't
it.
try.
They
Yeah,
didn't
they definitely didn't try.
try it. They literally didn't try it. That nigga Renly got killed before they could try it. But all she got to do is take the Marjorie approach, bring in a man. Then, if you really want to, and then all he has to do is finish in her in a specific window. There's really only a couple days out of a month that women can get pregnant. Like y'all, the Maesters could track that. Niggas was not trying to actually do their duty. That's all I'm saying. Both of them are at fault, not doing their duty.
See, the problem with Laenor and Rhaenyra at this point is one. Okay, let me just say play this part. If you're gonna have 3 kids by Harwin Strong, okay, I get that. But Laenor, if you're gonna be cool with that, at least be an active father in the kids' lives. Don't be like, oh, this dude's never around, never with Rainier. Clearly, he don't care about this family. If you're gonna take that approach and not try or whatever, but the fact that Rainier and Laenor couldn't get one black baby out of 3 is a smack in the face to King Viserys, to the realm, and to the entire Targaryen dynasty.
But how?
It's not what happened in the Iron Throne. The same thing with Cersei and the Baratheons. There's a reason why a bastard can't sit the Iron Throne. And I just said in the group chat, especially when you have a true-born heir of the throne,
you have somebody
that's going to cause a problem. If you just had one kid that looked like you guys, I think it would solve a lot of the issues. Like, well, maybe they just turned out different. Look at the other one.
Yeah, if you just have one, like I think it's good. Like because the thing is, look at Daemon and Lena's kids. Them kids black as hell. Them kids is black as them niggas pull up to the King's Landing, bro. They gonna be like, oh fuck. The difference in the kids there. Those kids are black as hell. These kids are white as shit.
I'm about to shut all this down right now.
All right, fine. Let's see it. Let's hear it, bro.
Look, I wish Laenor was bisexual so he could have some black babies that could be heirs to the throne. I really do wish that. I really do. But Rainier is the heir. These children are Targaryens. No matter who she fucks, her children will be Targaryens because she is a Targaryen. They will be half Targaryen off the rip, no matter what. Laenor is gay. I mean, I don't know what y'all want the nigga to do, man. The nigga,
I'll tell you what I want him to do.
I
want him to do. All he has to do. This is gonna sound
all
weird.
he has to do.
All he has to do is when he's having sex with his partner, put the cum in a vial and then give it to Rhaenyra.
Come in a vial, nigga.
Have they tried?
Nigga, artificial insemination in the Middle Ages? How? That doesn't work. That shit has to
you have to like that's some advanced technology to try that.
You have to do, bro. You can't literally just put it in a cup and pour it into the vagina. That's just not how that works, bro. It's a reason that shit took fucking millennia to develop, bro.
So that's why people don't grab condoms from the trash can, poke holes, and put it in them, and you don't get pregnant like that.
No, they put the hole in the condom before, and then it's like, whoop.
All right. I mean, okay, fine. He's gay. Whatever. He doesn't want to do it. Fine. He doesn't want to fuck women anymore.
Want it. He can't. He literally can't.
He can't. Whatever. He can't. Sure. What? Like, don't believe it. Like, literally, there are ways around it. We established a way around it, but like that didn't involve him having sex with Rhaenyra. Literally, as he's about to come, all he has to do is stick his penis inside of her. But whatever. Fine. That doesn't work. Whatever. Next thing, like Mike said, is just be a present father. Like, nigga, you're a knight with battle experience. Train your sons. You're a nigga that can ride dragons. Teach them how to ride dragons. Like, nigga, what are you doing? Like, literally, what do you spend your day doing? Drinking with Carl? That's it? That's it? All you... Then fucking shit. That's
all you doing. No, did you beat Rhaenyra cooking him? She was like, you've been guzzling ale and whatever the hell else.
Yeah, that was uncalled for. I would have said, bitch, so have you. Like, I would have literally said, bitch, so have you. Oh my goodness.
Spider-Man meme.
See, this is why before the show came out, I was so excited when they did when they made the Velaryons black, because there's no way out for Rhaenyra. Because like if they were white, they'd be like, oh, that shit happens,
Yeah.
The Valorians were just white people. About the kid's still white, but now there's really no kind of place to hide for Rhaenyra, so it makes everything. It turns the level up to 10. So I was really excited about that.
Well, that's why, like with Cersei and Robert, they kind of get away with it. Like Joffrey and Tommen were both bastards, and
And
like still,
And Marcella.
and Marcella, like all of the kids were bastards. But I'm saying Joffrey and Tommen were both crowned kings at some point, and because the only differentiating feature was literally hair color.
yeah, but
And
like,
it's
see, the reason that was different is because Robert was the king. Like, those children are not Baratheons.
like, yeah.
Rhaenyra's children are Targaryen.
You do make a point where you say, since she is the crown, she is the heir, her kids will still be half Targaryen, but they're still bastards. You still can't have a bastard sit the throne.
Viserys can just be like, "Hey, y'all are natural now."
Man, that gets into a whole nother storyline of Targaryens where the
Yeah,
old king
Fire Rebellion.
legitimized all his bastards, and there was the second or first Blackfire Rebellion, and we all know how that goes.
Yeah, but like, when you are the one that's going to be inheriting the throne, and your children are bastards, we can have this song and dance. Like, okay, you don't think my kids are natural? I'm gonna say they're natural. You gonna go against me?
Yeah, it's. I mean,
That's what's gonna happen. That's why, like,
being
well, Aegon's the true king. We're
yeah,
gonna back him because you don't have true heirs.
that's what I'm saying. Like Viserys actually has another son. That's also what throws it in a monkey in the shade.
Heads.
Red
If it
But
was
that
Wedding.
just
was
her,
gonna,
then okay.
but that was gonna be an issue whether Rhaenyra had natural born children or not. They was cooking
It
that
wouldn't
up
be,
before.
but she would have made it easier for herself to ascend the throne if she just had normal kids, man.
Yeah,
I
I'm saying
mean,
You can't
she
be.
already got one or two
by all
strikes. And
intents and
you can't
purposes,
have three. Like, come on now.
by all intents and purposes, these kids are her natural kids because nobody is willing to say anything except for Allison. So this has been an Allison problem this whole time. It's been a Hightower problem. Even before Rhaenyra had kids, they were like, Rhaenyra cannot ascend the throne. It needs to be Aegon. And now it's the same thing. Now Allison's just hating on the kids for what?
Because they're bastards. She
Yeah,
she doesn't she
that's
doesn't
what I'm saying. Like, yeah, she's hating.
doesn't make it easier for herself, man. Like
That's what
the issues, yeah, I was already going to be an issue. Her throne was always going to be in question. We've seen this in Targaryen past and in future that was going to be a problem. But she doesn't have to make it more of a problem by going this route. You
Yeah,
know what I
like
mean?
she's making it too easy. Like Allison, being a chief hater on the show can spot a hater from a mile away. Allison, hater through and through. She's been a hater. I called her a hater back in episode 4 when she was mad because she had to stay at home and be with the Scab King while Rhaenyra got to go out into town and hit the Silk Road and everything. She's been a hater. She was already gonna hate. But what I'm saying is, don't add fuel to the fire. Don't give her ammo. They're literally giving her a justified, legitimate reason to be a hater. Like she was already going to be a hater. She didn't need a reason, and now she's got a reason that
Well,
she.
now they have ammo to be like, well, you see why Aegon needs to be on the throne. Before it's like, man, Aegon should probably be on the throne. Now she has the ammo to push. No, Aegon should be on the throne because Rhaenyra is doing this.
Yeah, and all her kids are bastards. Bro, the crazy thing is, Jacaerys literally asked Rainier as fucking Harwin's getting kicked out of King's Landing. She's like, "Is Sir Harwin my father?" I'm like, "Bro, come on! If a 9-year-old can see it,
Everyone
how
knows.
the fuck? Like,
Everyone knows
they're
clearly.
messy as hell. Like these niggas have no. That is
It's
the
very
difference
messy.
with this show. There is no discretion. Where I feel like a lot of things happened in the shadows, and you had to pay attention in Game of Thrones. Like niggas learned how to play that shit. Niggas do not give a fuck in
Yeah, it's
House.
all up in the
Like
air now.
all of their news is like all out in the open, bro.
Look, I'm not saying Rhaenyra is not being reckless. It is a tough situation because literally her husband just can't give her dick. It's just like that's just.
But okay, and also that's the case. And since she is heir, doesn't she have legal grounds to divorce him?
Look, the Westerosi whatever, society is not equipped to handle.
Yeah, a divorce, a
Take
woman,
a second
and
husband.
a
Take a
woman
second
divorcing
husband.
a woman
Not even
divorcing a
divorce.
man.
They're not equipped to handle an open marriage to a gay nigga. Like they're like, whoa, gay, whoa, open marriage.
Take a
Like
second husband.
that's
Take
a
a second
Yeah.
husband.
I mean, honestly, being gay was a crime in Game of Thrones. That nigga Loras Tyrell, he was denying that shit, and Olenna was like, yeah, oh, he's a sword swallower through and through, and that nigga's over there denying it to the faith militant and everything.
I
Like, at
will.
least Loras was moving with discretion with it, and Renly were moving with discretion with it.
No, 'cause, like it's not illegal, but when the faith militant came to power, they was cracking down on all that shit.
Yeah, it wasn't illegal, but it was like highly frowned upon, especially for a nigga who is the head of his house. Like, regardless of the fact that he's just like the king consort, Rhaenyra's the heir. This nigga is the heir to Driftmark. He is still like like Corlys has no other children. It's just that nigga now.
Yeah,
And now Driftmark is about to get sent off to God knows what family because Laenor is being an asshole, don't want to have any heirs. Man, if he didn't want to have kids, man, he should have told his dad when he was like 14, hey man, this ain't gonna happen. Okay, bet me and Rhaenyra can keep trying for another heir then.
right.
Like,
But before we move on to the kids, I will say this: literally, the kids are accepted as Valerian children. You know, that's like Allison and Krista Cole are the only people who are willing to, not turn a blind eye. Everyone else is like,
because
whatever.
she has
Whatever.
the
I was
biggest
like,
reason to. That is the main reason stopping her from her family and son ascending the throne. Of course, you're not going to turn a blind eye. And Chris Cole just he's a hater.
I'm
He's a
saying,
true hater.
I
House
mean,
Valerian, they don't give a fuck. They're just happy to be here. Literally, if you want to call these little white kids Valerians, fine. I don't care.
like, fine.
Nah, because one of these little white kids is going to be the heir to Driftmark too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I
And with
mean,
the
but they
last
don't.
name Valerian.
Hey, well, we don't know if they don't care because we didn't see him in this episode.
All
But
right,
Yeah,
but
we
everyone
don't
else
know.
is.
Yeah, we don't know if Corliss cares or whatnot. I think we'll get a chance to see that in episode
yeah.
6 when so we'll get to see Corliss back in the mix because that is I think a key player that we missed on kind of seeing how he feels about all his sentiments because he was a powerful player those first 5 episodes. So not seeing him here in the 6th episode with so much change, I'm interested to see kind of how he has aged.
Yeah, that's gonna be really interesting to see. So we get some cool little moments with the kids. We all see them kind of like hanging out, and it seems like they don't hate each other. In the books they always kind of like resent each
Uh,
other from the start, just because of like their you know they
I
just they
I
just
couldn't
don't.
really tell their dynamic. I really couldn't. I feel like they don't like you said. I don't think they hate each other, but I don't know if they fuck with each other. That's what that's what I'm trying to discern.
It's the kids. They seem like they'll be like all right if it wasn't for their parents trying to like push them in different directions. You know what I'm
True.
saying?
I mean, let's be clear here. The kid, they're fine, but nobody fucks with Eamon. Like Eamon is like everybody.
Yeah, they keep making it.
Everybody
Yeah,
actually hates that nigga. That nigga
Aegon
Eamon,
was
like
like, so what? He's a twat.
he's like, yeah, so what? He's a talk. Like
Like,
Aegon doesn't fuck with his brother, and both Jacaerys and Lucerys don't fuck with Aemon either. So actually, nobody fucks with Aemon. But he seemed fine with mostly fine with Jacaerys and Lucerys. Like they were in on the pig prank in the dragon pit. And like they were sparring just fine. If you watch in the sparring match or whatnot, like Aemon keeps bumping into like Lucerys and shit and like knocking his sword out of his hand and everything.
I
You watch that on stuff. So it's like those like Aemon's kind of beefing with everybody. You know what I mean?
I
But
think it says a lot about Aemon if he's gonna let his 9 and 5-year-old cousin pick on him.
I think Aemon's about 9 too. He's probably about,
Either way, Aemon's still older than the little one.
yeah, he's older than the little one for sure. He's probably around
Lucerys.
Jace's age. He might be older than him.
Yeah.
But he's probably around just Jace's age.
Yeah. So I'm glad they gave us these moments with the kids like early because a lot of people are like, oh, we're not getting time with Lena, we're not getting time with Harwin. all due respect to them, they're minor characters. The kids are the ones that are going to be really the majority fighting this war. So it's good that we're getting introduced to them early, getting their character development. There is going to be one more time jump for the kids so they can like start doing their thing towards the end of the season. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm glad that we kind of got a glimpse into like how they're being raised up and shit. And go ahead.
No, like I was gonna agree. I think it's dope that we're getting to see these different generations of Targaryens come up. Because for the longest time, all we had was Viserys from original Game of Thrones originally, and then Dany, and then we pretty much just saw Dany. Like they would say in Game of Thrones, a Targaryen alone in the world is a very lonely, crazy thing. And now we're getting with House of Dragon. Not only are we getting Rhaenys and Viserys generation, we get to see a little bit of King Jaehaerys, but we're also getting to see, the generation below that with Daemon, Rhaenyra, and even into these kids. So it's kind of cool just seeing like just Targaryens grow up, if that makes sense. Like how they grow up. Because Aegon, first of all, fuck that kid. Like when Harwin grabbed him, he's like, "How dare you touch me?" He's like, "What?"
I got
Bro,
big, I got big Joffrey
OD.
vibes. Like, come on, chill out, bro.
I'm not. That was maybe the biggest Joffrey bot. The thing is with Aegon, I don't think he really don't give a fuck about a throne. He just want to be like he kind of like Daemon. He's like he chilling. He don't really care about responsibility. He probably just want to be on Dragon somewhere.
Nigga just wants to jerk off on top of the world, man. That nigga is on top of the world. You're like, gosh, mom, why are you fucking? She's over here questioning him, and he's like, damn, can I collect myself first? Can you at least wait for me to put some clothes on or
That's a
something?
wild time for your mom to walk in and try to have a serious conversation with you too.
Oh,
Yeah.
very, and she's like yelling at it. But the thing is, she completely like doesn't address that at all, which is fucking hilarious. She's just like, whatever. She's just like, whatever. Like you need to fucking stop you like being friends with your I guess are they nephews?
Cousins.
Yeah,
Fucked
the
up, man.
cousins. That was yeah. Are
Nephews.
they no, they're
Oh yeah,
nephews.
nephews,
They're nephews.
nephews too.
Your
Yeah,
nephews
because
are. They're like. She's like, yeah, your nephews are not your friends. It was like they are your challengers, and he's like, man, I'm not really interested in that. I just want to be like doing my own thing. Like,
Just
and I
want
think
to
that's very much like a teenager type kind of vibe. That's a mindset that he's got, and I feel like it's good that we got to see that kind of mindset because it's obviously gonna have to change, right? But I like to see like we got to see that progression in the character, and it's like, hey, he's not really obsessed with this, and he never was. He was just cornered, and it's kind of like how
put in the situation.
yeah, your parents pressure you to do these things. And it's kind of like we're seeing it passed down. Like Otto pressured Allison to do these things. And now Allison is pressuring Egon to do these things. You see it being passed down from generation to generation, kind of these responsibilities and all these things that you didn't want to do.
Trauma.
Yeah, and all that trauma. Because Allison didn't want to have to go fucking bed the king and do all that shit. And her father ordered her to. And now she's ordering fucking and it's crazy because Allison is an adult, grown, and she's still being kind of ruled over by the words that her father told to her, you know.
hmm
So it's cool that we got to see how kind of the trauma is passed down from generation to generation.
All right. So let's talk about the battle of Rhaenyra's lovers or exes, in the training
Exes.
yard. So, Kristen Cole just being a super dickhead, man, literally just bullying kids. And Harwin,
Facts.
poor Harwin has to be the deadbeat and the dad who steps up. Like he's not. He's like,
I
I'm
don't
not.
know if he's not. He was never a deadbeat because this nigga is very active in these niggas' lives. I'm
Hey,
saying
he's too active.
he should be a deadbeat.
Yeah, he
Like
should be.
it's
A long
actually
time
it's,
ago.
it's actually
Where
acceptable for him. Like I would prefer him be a deadbeat. Like and
absolutely.
that's crazy.
And this goes back to what we were saying earlier. Literally, where is Laenor? First of all, Kristen Cole is here, who you should have smoked with.
No, you
Second
should
of
not
all,
like this. It should be on site every time. Like that nigga should not be allowed to train your kids. He literally killed your best homie, bruh. And
yeah,
you're just cool with him being the person to train your kids. Like, and Laenor got some experience. Like Laenor got a resume. That nigga fought a 3-year war.
he's a
That
veteran.
Like yeah, like niggas actually got clout because you could see Christian Cole was like sneak dissing Harvey. And he was like, "Oh, you've never seen, I know you've never seen real
Facts.
combat. There's not no fair fights in real combat." Lanor could have slapped the shit out of him if he said that shit to him.
Man, he said that shit. I was like, oh, brother, this nigga still living off those Dornish incursions. Like,
Those
nigga,
Dornish,
That was like 15 years
like,
ago, Sir
nigga,
Cole.
nigga got a squabble in the marsh, bro. One watchtower. Like, come on, bro.
oh, brother. But yeah, so Harwin kind of tells on himself here. He gets a little too lost in the
Well,
sauce.
he didn't technically see. If he wasn't so dumb, he could have just been like, "Nah, this nigga's insinuating shit that's wrong. He can get my family fucked up." He didn't. They could have went about this in multiple different ways, I think. But either way, he should have been out of King's Landing and back in Harrenhal 10 years ago, whenever the first kid popped out.
Yeah,
So
Lionel should have got his ass out of there after the first kid. He should have been like, all right, nigga, y'all niggas, like, okay, it's one thing to fuck. It's another thing to end up with a kid that looks just like us. Like, come on.
and you're into life, you're always around. Like y'all some trifling ass kids, man. Get your ass back to Harrenhal.
Lionel should have packed that nigga up for Harren Hall a while
Should have
ago.
packed that nigga up, man.
Nah, but Sir Harwin did whip Kristen Cole's ass, was good to see because I ain't ever seen a dude just so spurned by someone that he just a complete 180 character change. Like Sir Kristen Cole in episode 6 is nowhere near the same Sir Kristen Cole episode 1 and 2 and 3.
Nah, but Christian Cole is that's a crazy motherfucker, man. Like he's a psycho, and
And
just wait.
I don't know if he's a psycho.
I
That
know.
That nigga just hurt, bro. That shit just hurt. I was like, damn, you really that hurt? Like, I was like, it's honestly sad. Like, it's honestly sad. Yeah, it's honestly sad that he's this hurt over being rejected, bro. Like
I've heard guys go crazy, so maybe he's just one of them guys. But like, man, I'm gonna need you to lock it up because this is unbecoming of a knights of the commander of the Gold Cloaks, man.
I mean, did y'all think they're like, well, okay, so he got his ass beat, but did you think like he was letting him whoop his ass? Because I thought they was actually about to get in a mix. Like I thought it was gonna be a real fight, and then he was just like, I think he just let him kind of kick his ass.
Yeah, he was trying to catch him slipping.
Yeah,
That's why he had been goading him this whole time. He's like, why are you so interested in these kids, huh? And Harlan's like, so he just kind of egged him on, and Harlan snapped, which you can't do. You can't snap unless you're Christian Cole. Then you can.
Yeah, and somehow he snaps and just gets away with it. That's just fucking like Laenor should have had his head on a spike. Like you're literally just married the queen. Like you have a lot of or you just married the princess. You should have some weight. You should outrank a fucking Kingsguard. Like you can get a Kingsguard replaced. You could have at least got him fired, but you should have been able to get him killed. But you couldn't have get him fired. That nigga beat his ass and got a promotion. That nigga killed your best man and got a promotion.
They hit him with the suspended without pay or with pay.
Suspended with pay. Was he even suspended? Was he?
Hey, no! It's like the cops, man. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got
suspended, though, he got a raise instantly.
They didn't even relocate him, bro. Like maybe they got. Sometimes the cops got to move a city over.
Okay, you're Rainier. You're mad that this guy killed a buddy. Why are you so mad, Rainier? Why are you so sad? Why are you crying, bro?
Man, you could at least say they're friends. Like you could leave it at that. We're friends.
Yeah. He said something crazy to me, and then what?
Have him killed.
Oh, I was like, you can't just be killing people. Yeah, like I've been like, no, I don't. This nigga killed my friend. That's it. You're rich. You're a lord. This nigga Kristen Cole is a glorified bodyguard. You can get that nigga. Like I said,
whole weight, bro. You're not finna.
Not over the heir to Driftmark and the king consort.
I'm saying, like, okay, we saw Rhaenyra pull rank on Laenor in this episode, and Laenor should have pulled rank on some shit because at that point in the show when that shit happened, Laenor was more valuable than Alicent was, right?
No,
you don't think so? You don't think that nigga Viserys had to literally get on a boat to beg that nigga to get married?
That was probably the height of the Valyrian's power.
That was like like if he had said like Corlys got the kids to be named Valerian, like they was exerting some strength. Like if there
The
was any time
Kingsguard
that he could have,
is literally only for the king and his family. Like, if you are whoever the fuck, that shit don't hold no weight to the Kingsguard unless the king say, "Get this nigga out of here."
no,
So,
bro.
like, you
I feel
literally can't leave the Kingsguard unless you get killed or exiled or some shit like that. You know,
So let me ask you this: if Sir Laenor were to attack Kristen Cole, and Kristen Cole were to, let's say, cut off one of his arms, you don't think they get? Who do you think would get in trouble? Either do you think Laenor would get in trouble for cutting off Kristen Cole's arm, or Kristen Cole would get in trouble for cutting off Laenor's arm?
I think this just like, damn, like, why'd he try him?
But who do
Kristen
you
I mean,
think?
I
Cole,
think,
Who
I mean, I think
has
he's
been
not
put
gonna
on the
try
side?
1v1 because he knows like Kristen Cole is gonna beat him. Like
literally, Jamie
'cause
Lannister killed the king and didn't leave the Kingsguard, bro. He
That's
literally
different.
killed the king,
that was literally an
That's
uprising.
different.
That was literally an
bro.
uprising.
Different.
Bro, this
I'm
man is
not
Lord
saying it,
Commander of the
That's way
Kingsguard,
different,
and
bro.
his
he is
nickname is
That's
King
now. He
Slayer.
wasn't
different.
then.
Bro,
That nigga was the newest addition to
He
the
was not
King's
Lord
Guard.
Commander. He was still
All I'm
16.
saying,
He
all
was
I'm
like
saying
16.
is that nigga should not have that amount of job security. This
bro,
nigga was
literally.
the newest addition of the King's Guard. How did he have that much job security?
Bro,
Is all I'm saying.
more people know Jamie as Kingslayer than Jamie, and this nigga still protecting the king. Like, literally, this nigga is in the Kingsguard and
And
he's
they killed the
Kingslayer.
nigga killed
Because
his
he
brother.
helped overthrow that king
Yeah,
to
they
have a new regime.
like overthrew him. Like, come on, that was kind of that
And
shit gave me.
they still call him Kingslayer.
Yeah, but they say it in like that's almost a compliment. Like it's
And he's
almost a
literally
badge of
famous for
honor.
killing the king.
Yeah, that's
I was like,
different. That's really different.
Bro, but
that's
nobody
almost
knows
a
the
badge
real
of honor.
reason though. Nobody knows the real reason why he did it. They just like, oh, this nigga's a fucking Kingslayer. He has no honor. Yet and still, he's the king. He's the king. The Kingsguard. Like, come on, bro. They don't give a fuck. They are literally
That's
the
different. That's different.
That was completely different. This nigga Kristen Cole had nowhere near because also
Kodum got Tywin
is
as
the
a dad.
heir to Casterly Rock. Yeah, like that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying. Like,
if
come on,
Christopher dad was Tywin, that'd make more sense. But
yeah,
I
like
mean, so that ain't the same, bro.
that is not the same. This
having
nigga
the
Kristen
queen
Cole is
in
the
your
son of a
corner. Is
steward.
it the same?
He's
No.
the son of a steward. Laenor should have threw his weight around and got that nigga at the minimum fired. Like that's what I'm saying. At the minimum, I thought maybe he was gonna be like a personal guard to the high towers or some shit. This nigga is like, bro, he got a promotion for killing Laenor's best friend. That is wild, bro. And he's just cool with it. He doesn't even have no like. They couldn't even make him angry in any of the scenes. Like at least make him look angry.
That nigga's a hoe. But let's move on to Damon. Damon's exploits in Pinto. So based on Fire and Blood, you know, Damon and Lena have been kind of flying all over the world for the past 10 years, you know, like going different places, just exploring, you know, just having a grand old time. Um, and you know, they settled down in Pentos for a bit, have their kids, and the Prince of Pentos approaches them to move there full time and help them in the war with the Triarchy. These
Again.
motherfuckers again.
It's like I gotta handle these niggas, man.
Man. So, you know, Damon's like, yo, let's do it. You know, and Lena's like, no, we need to go back to Westeros. I want my kids to be raised like on Driftmark type shit. You know, Damon's not really feeling that. So I
Hey
must
man.
ask you, Max Kellerman, is Damon washed?
Hey man, I want to say this about my man Dame. First of all, what time is it? Hey man, let Dame do his thing, man. He's tired of the bullshit in Westeros. He living his life with his beautiful wife, his beautiful 3 kids, and his goddamn 3 dragons, not worrying about the petty bullshit that's taking part in Westeros. Now, unfortunately, Dame, like I said, Rainier needs you, so it's gonna be time to come back. You know, your niece needs you, but hey, man, I'm happy. I'm happy for him. I feel like although he's I think what Lena said was right. He's kind of disappointed on how his life has turned out. Not disappointed like with where he's at and what he's doing, but disappointed that he kind of fell off with his brother and that he's not the heir, because I feel like he would be the heir. But then again, I don't think he really cares about being king. But
I mean, I think
I'm
he
glad.
want to be close to the family, right?
Like, yeah, I'm glad he's had this time alone to collect himself. He ain't being like Damon of old. It looks like he's kind of, collected himself. He has a little bit more maturity, has a little more path to his thoughts. Like you said, he's like they were saying, he's like combing all these old Valyrian texts, trying to find something, God knows what. So at least I feel like he's kind of more driven with a purpose at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so he has matured, and I think we noticed that. Like he's sitting there. We get a snippet of the scene of like him teaching his eldest daughter how to speak High Valyrian. Like that's a
Dope.
cool
That was
dad.
fire.
That's a cool dad moment that we would have never expected out of Damon before, right? Who was like completely anti-children from the previous episodes when he's talking to Massaria in Dragonstone and saying children could be such a burden and such a bore, and he's literally sitting here taking like Laenor could learn a thing or two from Damon, which is a crazy thing to say in terms of being a present father, right? But I think it's really like I think it's interesting to see they've been traveling for what 10 years. They got free airfare because they all got dragons and shit. So they just get to travel and do parlor tricks and then just get to be royal guests at different places. Which I guess, like you said, is a simple lifestyle. It's a cool like just transaction. We got dragons, they got gold. Like we can pull up and do that, and then just do whatever the fuck we want. Right? It's a really simple lifestyle that could seem befitting to like a mature Damon, but without I think he's probably going to end up going, he's going to go back one because of the death of Lena, and I think he's just going to kind of heed her advice because I think he respected her and he valued her opinion more so than he valued Rhea Royce's opinion. There was some respect there, so I think he's actually going to start taking, like okay, my position as a member of the royal family. He's not heir anymore, but he's still a member of the royal family. He's going to start taking that position more seriously in a way to honor his wife who died in
I see that.
you know
He's gonna take his role, although it's not the role he probably ideally wants. He is more accepting of who he is and the role that he has to play for the bigger picture that is to come.
yeah yeah
Right on. Yeah, a note on his two daughters. They're twins, Bayla and Rana.
okay
And so in the book, Bayla is more like she's the one with the dragon, and she's more like the kind of kick ass kind of warrior girl, and Reyna kind of is like the more reserved kind of like stateswoman type. So it's gonna be there is some talk about like them kind of like trying to mold them into one character before the show like came out, just because like they don't have much to do in the books, but the fact that they did both of them is kind of encouraging, so that they might have more to do. So I don't know where they're gonna go, but stay tuned, it should be lit.
yeah
I do want to point out we finally get to see Vagar.
Oh yeah, fucking Vagar, what a big.
Vagar, first of all, she need to be retired, man. She don't want to be doing any of this bullshit. Let her go, let her go, man. That's an old ass dragon, man.
I love how they made her look like a grandma for real. Like she's
For real, for real. She looked like something that came out of like the primordial swamp, like the first creature on Earth.
yeah.
Like she just needs to retire. And after I feel like she was struggling flying. Like just trying to like, although she was outpacing Caraxes, like I feel like
Hey,
she
she's
was
still a beast.
exerting a lot of energy.
Yeah,
She's
I
still
mean,
a beast.
when they were doing that, side by side ride and everything, she is fucking massive. Like she made Caraxes look like a baby, so she is still fucking massive. She still has very strong like dragon fire, but She's not mixing it up. Like Caraxes was nimble, he was flying through flames and all that shit. Like you definitely saw the kind of. I think they did a really good job of like juxtaposing those two dragons and the differences in just the personalities of them too. Like I think they've done a really good job of showing that with the what we've seen 3-4 dragons now in the show. So I think with the 4 dragons, I think they've done a good job of being distinctly different
Hmm.
with all of them, and and it's hard to do that without a character that is just a all
Not
CGI.
real.
Yeah, it's all CGI. It's not an actor. Like they sound very different.
They
Like
do.
like all of kind of the detail that they really put into that makes them unique and not all the same. And it's like it goes to show just how much attention to the detail
And we
the
get to see Vermax this episode too. Little baby Vermax.
we did get to see Lil Max. We need that. That man need to grow up. We'll see. We got to see what's it? Sunfire. What is it? Sunfire or something? Dreamfire.
Sunfire.
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 So
Sunfire is Aegon's.
Hers is the most
Dreamfire
beautiful
is
one, I think.
Helena.
Or Dreamfire is the most beautiful. That's what they say.
Sunfire is Helena.
Sunfire is
Sunfire.
Sunfire is like gold with like pink wings.
Oh shit.
Dreamfire is supposed to be like baby blue with like pink wings. So like those are supposed to be like some crazy looking dragons. So hella excited to see them whenever they come about. Let's talk about Laris, gentlemen.
That dude. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that dude, man.
Let's talk about Laris, and then I'm gonna hip y'all to this theory that I heard, and then we can discuss the validity of it.
You can go ahead and do the theory, actually, because this layers thing kind of came out of left field for me. I was just thinking, what? You can go ahead. You can go ahead.
I mean, for Laris, my thought was just like, bruh, you just burned your brother and father alive for no
Your
reason.
own castle.
In there, you not like of all the ways. First of all the ways that you can kill somebody, burning alive is a pretty cruel way to kill somebody. But I guess it's also like an easy way to say it's an accident too. But I still feel like there are some other accidental deaths that he could have cycled through before he chose burning them alive. One.
Well, I think the burning kind of plays into the whole Harren Hall's curse thing. So I didn't. Well, I'm saying I didn't mind that he killed his brother and dad, but if there was one way to do it, that would be the best way to make it look like an accident in Harren Hall.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just, and I guess I feel like there's still like a couple other ways that you could make it an accident. I don't know, drowning. There's like falling. There's something like the building is old as shit. Have some shit fall on them niggas. Like it's a broken down castle. Like have some shit just fall and crush them niggas. I guess. But like burning alive is a very slow and painful death. So like that's just a wicked way to do it, and I think it shows us more into the psyche of who Laris is. But also, it's like, bro, you had no beef with them niggas. Like you had no smoke with them niggas. For all you know, that your pops was cool. Your pops was cool with you, and your brother was good with you. Like they didn't have no smoke with this nigga, and he kills him.
Like where does this come from, Lars?
That is what freaks me out as a character. Like in Game of Thrones, like sure we see a good bit of like murder and death and gore, but like a lot of times we can at least see some reasoning behind it, even if we don't agree with it. There's, few characters where we see just wanton acts of violence. And, the characters that do that is Joffrey and Joffrey and Ramsay. And it's like, damn, like this nigga has the evilness of Joffrey and Ramsay, but also the cleverness of Varys. Like that's a crazy concoction because it's like, how does he have all this information? How is he able to interact with these people in their family seats? It's just crazy and how scary of a player that Laris is gonna be.
How does Laris have all this information? Let's go into theory mode. Put your tinfoil hats on, gentlemen.
All right.
So, our first scene with Laris, he sneaks up on Alicent in the Godswood, right? And that's not our first scene. It's his first scene, really, like as a main kind of character.
Where he speaks, yeah.
And actually, let me just go ahead and say the theory. So, the theory is that Laris is a green seer.
I knew you were gonna say something like he's a 3-eyed raven or some shit.
And he's been warging into the rats of the Red Keep to get all his information.
Oh.
We meet him in the Godswood by the Weirwood. Maybe that's where he's been hooking up. You know what I'm saying? In the book, in Fire and Blood, literally it says this guy has stumped generations of Westerosi historians. Nobody knows whose side he's on. Nobody knows what his motives are. This guy literally like swam down Sitch Creek and came out clean. Literally just like nobody knows what the fuck he's on. Could Laris... Oh, yeah, and obviously he has no emotion, no kind of like psychological... He's basically fucking what's a sociopath, kind of
Yeah.
like Bran was after he kind of lost his
He
whole
lost
shit.
his humanity, his soul and shit. Yeah.
Could Laris be a
Hmm.
secret green seer? How are
I
we
think
feeling?
I
So
think that's an I think that's an interesting take because they have been highlighting on these fucking rats, and I'm like, why the fuck do we keep spotlighting on them? Like, it's a big ass castle and
There's
there's
been a
secret
lot of
castle, and
rats.
yeah, but there's been a lot of scenes where they will highlight like a rat being in the room or something, or you see him scurrying across the floor. That's been a theme across multiple episodes, so I think that is interesting.
I saw that the rat thing is kind of like it's supposed to be a symbolism for uh, Westeros coming to feast on like being scavengers coming to feast on the Targaryen family, and they keep getting closer and closer, which is why like there's symbolism for that. But for the layers thing, that would be interesting. But I just know that most, if not all, green seers are typically have blood of the first men, so I don't know where how strong comes from.
Strong has blood of the first men.
Okay, so that I was gonna say, so that might help. Um,
All is located right.
in the God's eye, I know that.
And you know what's in the middle of the God's eye? Isle of Faces.
Well, that's not their ancestral home. So I have to get some more interest. I have to get some more information on where how strong comes from. But if that's what it says in the books that they don't know how he's able to do what he can do, it wouldn't make sense because he does have a club foot or kind of like a cripple or broken thing. So I think helps activate your warring ability, if you will. Um, I don't know. That would be interesting. I would figure it'd be one of those bugs that he has that is like his little symbol. I figured he'd warg into a bug or some shit, but
Works into fucking cockroaches and
So before the show came out, a kind of theory about Laris was that he was never really like crippled at all. It was just like some Kaiser Soze shit the whole time, and he was just like finessing people.
he
But
was just faking
I
and
don't, it still
now
look fucked up in the show.
it
fucking
do look
bird.
fucked up. It do look fucked up. So we'll see. Laris is a man of mystery, and he honestly he might end up just being like the big villain of the whole thing on the way. Like I can just kind of see him like orchestrating, puppet mastering every kind of event that goes on because there's so much shit that happens in Fire and Blood, and there's like sources that say this person did it, or this person did it, or this person did it. What if it's just Laris the whole time, which is would
Pulling the
be
strings.
crazy. So
He
Like
is.
it's like
He's
Littlefinger orchestrating the plot or the war behind the Seven Kings or the Four Kings.
yeah.
Four
yeah,
What
Kings,
Littlefinger had
five
Brand's
kings.
abilities would be nuts.
Yeah, if Littlefinger had Brand's ability, I mean, I think it's an interesting. I think it's an interesting take. I think there's some credence for it. Like it's not completely out of water, and he's building like he's amassing a secret network of like mercenaries and informants as well. We see that with him just having full access to prisoners and then cutting out their tongues so they can't snitch on him and
Smart.
to do their deeds. Yeah, that talk about covering your bases there, but
You
also
know, none of them can read or write. So
it's a sociopathic thing to do is like them niggas cannot snitch because I literally took their tongue, so they're incapable of speaking. Like I think he's definitely setting himself up to be a major, major player, and it's just crazy because we have no clue why or he wants to do anything. I mean, obviously you can see like, oh, he kills his dad and his brother. He's now heir to Harrenhal, but he didn't really seem to be interested in being heir to Harrenhal. Like he seems like he just was there for chaos, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like more in the vein of Littlefinger. It's like I don't know. His character overlaps with a lot of different characters in Game of Thrones, and it makes the ultimate concoction of supervillain. But also, I think another potential Green Seer that we saw in this episode is Helena. Helena
Mm-hmm.
is, she's sitting there counting bugs. She's spouting, quote unquote prophecy. She's like, the last ring has no legs at all. He's going to have to lose an eye when Aemon is talking about like to get a dragon, he wants to get a dragon and everything. I was like, was that, a prophecy or something that she was, I think we've seen with green seers and people like that, like they always have to have some kind of handicap or disability. With Laris, it's, his legs and being crippled. With Helena, it could be more of on the autistic side and whatnot. So I think we got
I,
another.
I was gonna say I wouldn't say she's a green seer, but I definitely think she's like one of the Targaryen seers of old. I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but she, if you listen to what she's saying, she does have like a lot of foreshadowing that is going to take place.
Yeah. Yeah. So those
Yeah,
are UKP's theories. We've all got theories. Those are our theories, man.
Helena is super interesting. We didn't really get to talk about her much, but uh, yeah, she. I hope nothing happens to that kid, man.
Yeah, don't spoil too much from the book, right? We just got a toe, but this is my opinion coming from like someone who hasn't read the
Yeah,
book. That was like, hey, she was talking very cryptically, and in Game
yeah,
of Thrones, they're not just writing shit. They never just write shit and have scenes for no reason, right? It's all intentional in terms of why they put that in there, and so I think
mhm.
there's a reason why we got to see Helena in the way we did, and there's a reason she said what she said.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, rest in peace to Harwin and Lionel. That y'all really didn't have to go out like that. It's crazy because in the book, the fire at Harrenhal happens a little bit later after some other things that we'll see in the like the fire at Harrenhal would happen after the events of probably next episode. So I was kind of shocked that it even happened this early
Mhm.
and that Laris did it for one. So that was like a huge reveal for me. So that was nuts. Rest in peace to the Strongs. Rest in peace to Lena Valerion Targaryen. And
Yeah.
with that being said, let's get into some predictions, some hot takes, some who won the episode. Actually, I can't even tell you who won the episode because it's kind of like a blank slate right now. Honestly. So maybe predictions.
I mean, we
Hey,
gave we gave our theories, right? So I think it's just like, I mean, I hated everybody on this episode in terms of like chief haters, man. It's like Kristen Cole is clearly at the top of the board of just being a like astronomical hater, bro. Like
Wow.
everybody is just every like that man
hey, I
leaps and
honestly,
bounds.
I'd honestly have to say King Viserys has to be the winner. I mean, that nigga still ain't died yet.
Hey, bro,
He's
Grandmaster
still
Orwell.
alive.
As soon as we got that old ass nigga, we got a black man in the seat. He started
Black
making some policies.
Winter.
He started making some policies. Black niggas can be smart too. Yes, he started making some policies and shit. That nigga's arm and started and stopped sucking the fucking life out of him. Literally, he was sucking the life out of that nigga, and he somehow gets to live another 10 years. That nigga was on death's door last ep. Like I literally thought he was dead. He passed out at the end of the ep, and he somehow successfully lives
I
10.
what I can see what happening next episode. A quick prediction. I think we're going to start to see a division of the younger generation of Targaryens. We're going to start seeing a lot more animosity between them. We're going to see Rhaenyra, I think, start trying to call her banners, if you will, trying to like put out the word like, "Hey, man, shit's gonna be going down. I need to make sure you're with me." So I can see her putting out some fillers for that, and simultaneously, um, Damon returns to Dragonstone to be with Rainier. Hot take, or not hot take, maybe hot prediction. Maybe it's like some type of juxtaposition, like Damon returns, Viserys dies. So it's like the end of one relationship and the start of another between Rhaenyra and Damon again, or some shit.
Okay, okay. What you got, Dante?
I mean, I'm interested to see like I don't know if I have much predictions, but I'm just interested to see the Valerians back in the mix, right? We didn't get to see Corlys. Last time we saw Corlys, he was throwing his weight around, and I'd like to see kind of how he's progressed over the last 10 years, and kind of because the Valerians are going to be pivotal in this war that is coming. They have additional dragons, they have a navy, and they have money like that. Who they throw their support behind is gonna likely end up being the favorite in the war.
Mm.
So I think I'm curious to kind of see where the Valerians land in all this after losing his daughter Lenor, and kind of the bastard claims and whatnot. So I'm just interested to see kind of where the Valerians are fitting, kind
Okay.
of in this next step.
Yeah. All right. So my prediction is a simple one. Shit will hit the fan. That's my prediction.
Says nothing at all.
But
You can
there's
just
a
predict that
lot
in
to
every
it.
episode.
Facts, like
No,
literally.
it's crazy. Like I just can't believe that they're pulling this off. It's really fucking nuts. It's crazy. No, literally, bro. Like here, let me just let me fan out real quick, bro. Like literally, bro, they are executing the text to perfection, and like
They're kind of rewriting it too. This is the new canon too.
yeah, and it's like it's not even like this is not even the tip of the iceberg. Like there's so many more characters that are gonna pop up. Like, oh man, it's crazy, it's crazy, it's crazy. But here's what I want to see next episode. I want to see Rainier step up to the fucking plate. Be a man, son.
Yeah, he ain't gonna go out like that. He ain't
Be a
gonna go out.
motherfucking man, son. You out here sucking and fucking. Look, I hate to break it to you, bro. At Dragonstone, ain't hella niggas there where you can just fucking. All right, so you
Hey,
got
Carl
to
there.
and be a father, okay?
You gotta be a father. You can't be a deadbeat black father, Lenore. That's you can't do.
Exactly. Come on. Another thing I want to see: Vagar is unclaimed. We see in the preview, uh, one of the little girls like somebody stole Vagar. I want
Yeah.
to see who the fuck steals Vagar and how it happens.
How the fuck do you steal a dragon? Like is
Yeah,
what I'm
you ain't,
like
you
that
ain't,
makes
you ain't steal that dragon. You can't
yeah,
steal a
they can't,
dragon.
they can't be controlled. Like it literally takes years to
Dragon
bond
Knight.
with a dragon. There's very few people that even have the capability of bonding with a dragon, right? So it's like, how did that? I think that's an interesting wrinkle as well because like that shit shouldn't be possible.
And the last thing I want to see how Rhaenyra's death, well, not Rhaenyra's death, how Landa's death impacts.
Whoa.
Yeah, Rhaenyra dies next episode. Uh, uh,
Horrible hot take.
yeah, so in the book, Lana and Rainier are really close. Like she's there, literally at the birthing bed with her when she dies. Like they're literally like super tight. So I want to see if they kind of play that up in the next episode. Maybe Rainier will say a few words at the funeral or something.
Funeral.
Yeah.
There ain't
So,
nobody.
Yeah, they have a funeral. They showed her bones, and in the
Oh,
trailer for
I
next
thought it was all ash.
they're
I thought it was
pushing
dust in the wind.
yeah,
pushing
we're
it
getting
into
the
the water.
funeral.
Like yeah, they push the casket into the water. I like that. Kind of ode to being a sailor and kind of the Valerian way. So yeah, but it'll definitely be a funeral ep.
Yeah, also super excited to spend some time with Corliss. The next two episodes, 7 is titled Driftmark and 8 is titled The Lord of the Tide. So we're getting a lot of Corliss coming up. So,
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he was missing this whole ep, right? And he was throwing his weight around last time we saw him in episode 5. Like he was kind of poised to be the quote unquote like most powerful man in Westeros, because Viserys
mhm.
was looking weak as hell, and so we haven't seen him after the time jump. So I'm interested to see kind of how he's matured.
Yes, sir, man. We gotta look, man. There's a lot to look forward to in this show, man. They're firing on all cylinders, man. Every time you think, damn, like they really going crazy, the next episode just go a little crazier, man. So shout out to fucking Ryan Condal and Miguel. Um,
George,
yeah. Anything else y'all want to say?
Good next week.
amazing show.
Looking forward to next Sunday.
All
It's an
right,
amazing show.
amazing show. Well, until next time, haters. It's KP.
Mikey Dimes.
You
Keep on hating.